Hello, podcast community. This is Three Questions Podcast, episode number 38. Episode number 38 is brought to you by Howie at adssciences.com. Ad Sciences is a platform for Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Twitter, TikTok, you name it, where they will help you get exposure to the perfect micro audience. I've known Howie and his friends at Ad Sciences and his teammates. They've grown every single business and client I've referred to them over the years. I cannot recommend them enough. I've known Howie for about 10 years. Great guy. Thank you for sponsoring all the way up to episode 50. You can reach them at, adssciences.com. That is adssciences.com. And you can email Howie, Howie, at appanite.com. Go check him out. I swear he is the best in business. I want to hop right into our three questions to talk a little bit afterwards about what's going on. But this is my third podcast in a row, so I want to keep the train rolling. Anyways, question number one, best way to eat healthy on a budget. What is the best way to eat healthy on a budget? Number one, you need to cut out processed sugars. You need to cut out quick carbs. If you can get over those two addictions, everything else in your life will improve. I promise you, everything else in your life will improve if you're able to do that. Eating healthy is not as hard as people think. Eating healthy, first and foremost, is about cutting the bad things out of your diet before trying to optimize with salads and minerals and vitamins and everything else. Okay. Because if you're not drinking enough water, if you're eating too much sugar, if you're eating, simple carbohydrates, or you're eating fast food, or you're just eating a traditional American diet, which is like 60 to 70% carbohydrates and a ton more sugar, you're doing it wrong. Okay. Eating healthy on a budget is actually relatively simple, because when you eat healthy, when you eat organic vegetables and actually grass-fed meat, you need less of it. And I'm going to break it to you this way, because I forget what book or what podcast or what YouTube video that I was consuming, but there is something that is not really talked about in the nutritional space, which is the efficiency of the food that you eat that is being able to use by your body. There's a process that literally your body will go through. And say, for instance, you're eating McDonald's, your body may only be able to use 11% of those calories that you're putting in. And calories is an outdated unit of measurement. And if you don't know what a calorie is, I'm going to blow your mind. A calorie is actually a unit of heat that is used to measure moving 1 degree Celsius for 1 cubic centimeter of water, right? So a 1 by 1 cubic centimeter of water, to move that up 1 degree of Celsius, that is a measure of a calorie. Okay. So it's actually not even a great measurement for the amount of food and nutrition that we take in. We eat calories because our bodies go through a process called thermogenesis, which is generating heat so that our body temperature can remain optimized. And when you eat shitty foods, your body spends more time burning those bad calories and storing all of those extra calories as potential fat in case of a future famine. That's a biological process that you need to understand. That's why food that we eat gets turned into fat, because our body goes, hey, we might be able to use this later. And the process of eating less but eating better food more often raises that percentage value of the actual amount, the actual percentage of calories that your body can use to sort of rebuild and refit and retool and make new, better stuff. So the best way to eat healthy on a budget, number one, cut out shitty things like extra sugar, added sugar. Make sure you're drinking enough water. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Cut out simple carbohydrates. I personally try to make every plate of food that I have at least 30 to 40% vegetables, about 20 to 30% carbohydrates, and then the rest is protein. I don't think protein is as important as everybody else is saying, but you have to have a cornucopia of different foods on a weekly basis in order to continue to introduce new minerals, new processes for your body to sort of continue to optimize, right? Maybe one week you have eggplant, the next is zucchini, and then you're doing squash the week after with broccoli. You need to continuously mix all the different good foods, and you can eat less often as long as you are eating better food. So eating on a budget is fine. Try to understand that the fuel you put into your body is the output that you're going to get out. So bad in, bad out, good in, good out. Okay. It's as simple as that. And even if you don't have the budget for it, you've got to find a way to make the budget for it. Okay. Even if it's only 75 bucks a week, maybe you're only eating 2 meals a day, right? Maybe you're only eating one. Maybe you're fasting for 48 hours every single week. Whatever the process is, it's such an individualized question. And I will be happy to help you out if you want to talk about this. I see that one of my friends submitted this. So I hope that that sort of suffices your question on how to eat healthy on a budget. Okay. Going to go to question number 2. Question number 2 is best way to get a qualified education on a budget. Dude, YouTube University is free. I don't care what you're trying to learn. I know there's a lot of bullshit out there on YouTube, but you can literally find anything that you want on YouTube. You can find, think about Jordan B. Peterson, right? He teaches master's level courses all the time. How many of his lectures are on YouTube? Whatever you wish to learn, you can continue to learn and practice it on YouTube by watching other people do that. I think there was, I forget the figure, but there's something like 6 hours of content are uploaded to YouTube like every second. I remember reading a stat like that, and there is an abundance of information on there. There's so many great educational channels that I follow. And if I want to learn something about relationships, or if I want to learn something about whatever I'm studying, or marketing or advertising, or how to boost your YouTube channel, or how to run a podcast, YouTube is always the first place that I go. Yeah, I might type stuff into Google, but I would rather watch somebody tell me and teach me something that I can learn and apply that to my life. Now, can you get a qualified education on a budget on YouTube? Probably not. Okay. But maybe for you, that means joining the Army Reserves. Maybe for you, that means joining the National Guard. Okay. Maybe for you, that means going active duty so that you can pay for a future master's degree and get access to a VA home loan, right? Whatever your perspective is on wanting to do that stuff, you can get a qualified education and have somebody else pay for it, right? Or if you're already qualified in your profession, what you can do is you can ask your employer or a future employer that you may be applying to and say, hey, I'm looking to get tuition reimbursement. I'm looking to get a master's degree here. Could you help? Could we figure that out into my compensation package? If you're talented enough in the private sector, that is 110% the way to go. You don't have to join the military to get access to things like the GI Bill. But if you're younger, that's certainly something to think about. Okay, they also do tuition reimbursement if you've already been through college and you want the Army to pay for the college that you just went through instead of paying for student loans. I think that's a fucking great idea too. But if you really want to get a qualified education, right, applying for grants, applying for scholarships, as cumbersome and dangerous as that is also a pretty good way to go sometimes. So don't overlook those routes to think about. I think qualified education is something that everyone should continue to achieve. But man, right, think about how many legitimized courses there are on YouTube. Save up the money, pay for an online course, things like Southern New Hampshire University or the millions of Phoenix University. There are so many online programs that you can use to take courses, collegiate courses, get a master's degree from home. This is 2023. You have access to everything that you want. And in terms of being on a budget, because that's, the premise of your first 2 questions, if you're on a budget, right, figure out how to get to the next level of your life, right? Whether that's making more money, whether that's getting your own place, whether that's just hitting a goal, right? Getting in better shape. You need to start with small goals and then work your way up to bigger goals, because small successes over time lead to those big wins. Those big wins don't just come out of nowhere. Okay. So let's figure out how to stick on your budget, stay on it, but let's also boost the padding a little bit. What are some other ways that you can create recurring revenue for yourself, right? What's an e-commerce drop shipping business look like for you? Is there anything that you can sell on Shopify, right? Maybe you want to open an Amazon store. Whatever these things are, let's find a way to get you out of survival mode. That should be goal number 1 for you before you start thinking about a qualified education on a budget. Okay. So I'm going to drop that question there, hop over to question number 3. Most efficient way to learn a new language. I only speak one language. Okay. I speak English. Previously, I have lived in Italy for 2 years, and I will tell you that the best way to learn a new language is to just drop somebody off in a place where most other people don't speak your language. You're going to learn the fastest there. When you can't communicate, right, you're going to start learning to things and you're going to start paying attention. You are going to pick it up faster. It may take you longer to become proficient, right? You and I can sit here at home. I can go on YouTube. I can learn Italian. I can learn Spanish. I can learn Russian from YouTube, probably for free, as long as I put the time and effort into it. But there's so many good programs out there. Pimsleur is the best. I know a lot of people use Duolingo or Babbel. If you just want iPhone apps that you can sort of do while you're going to and from. But I think personally, the most efficient way to learn a language, dude, go study abroad, right? Go pick strawberries on a farm in Czechoslovakia. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but like when you immerse yourself in a new place, in a new language, and you have to be able to communicate there, that's the only way to do it. So I really don't have much to say other than that. Just throw yourself into the fire, get baptized by it. Learning a new language, your consistency over time, right? You putting in an hour a day, you putting in 45 minutes a day over the span of a year or two is going to be awesome, right? If you put in 8 hours a day over 6 months, you're probably going to get pretty good pretty quick. It's all about how much you're able to sort of allocate there. And I would say consistency over discipline and over motivation will get you there on your own time, depending on how much you want to put in. So that's really all I got for episode number 38. I know it was sort of a quick one. A couple new things that I've launched. I just launched Artemia. I got some shirts on there. A lot of really cool canvas prints of things that I'm developing and making. If you want to support there, I would love that, right? The link should be down below in the podcast description, but it's just ARTIMAIH, artemia.com. There's also an Etsy shop that links to it as well. If you want to shop there, that would be super appreciated. Or if you want personalized coaching sessions, you know how to reach me, ckcollect.co. You can purchase sessions for, I think I just updated my prices, should be around $60 a session, sometimes around specials, but you can sign up. I'm only going to be taking 7 clients for the rest of the year. I think I'm at 6 right now. So my next sessions, I'll be able to start in September. And yeah, I would really love to talk with you then and there. Other than that, I am available for you guys anytime. Reach out, 3questionspodcast@gmail.com to submit questions. And again, I appreciate you guys for listening, and I'll talk with you guys soon. See you in the next one.